You don't know who Major James Capers is? Bullshit! Sit down, take a seat, and get comfortable, because I'm going to tell you the story of Major James Capers. Major Capers was born August 25th, 1937 in South Carolina to a small family of sharecroppers during the Jim Crow era. In 1957, Capers enlisted into the United States Marine Corps and went to boot camp in South Carolina at Parris Island. While in boot camp, though, he met some of the first African American Marines to join the United States Marine Corps. While serving, Capers would be selected to join the Elite Force Recon Marine Unit in a special group called Team Broadminded. It was April 1967. After just 3 days of patrolling behind enemy lines in search of a reported Vietnamese encampment near the village of Phu Loc, just north of Hue City, where Capers' 9-man 3rd Force Recon Team, known as Team Broadminded, found itself in the crosshairs of an entire NBA regiment. Capers recalls the fighting being as intense as any he had seen during his time in Vietnam while he was conducting commando raids in northern South Vietnam. Capers battled a mental haze brought on by massive blood loss and a shot of morphine as he fought to free his men from the assault. Mind you, he was doing this with 2 broken legs and being peppered with shrapnel from a claymore mine. With his entire team wounded and their loyal service dog King killed in action, King ordered his Marines to evacuate in an H-34 chopper, but he stayed and continued to fight, calling in airstrikes on danger close enemy positions as he fought off attackers with just an M16. Knowing that the extraction helicopter was overloaded and his men needed critical medical attention, that's why Capers knew he had to make the impossible decision, allowing the extraction chopper to take his men and King's body away from danger while he stayed behind to face certain death. In a later interview, Capers said, "Well, I thought it would be better to lose 1 man than to lose the whole team." He also said any commander worth his salt would care for his men before himself. Those men were not going to leave their leader, Capers, behind. So they pulled him aboard the chopper, and after 2 failed liftoff attempts, they finally got the H-34 airborne, getting the men to safety and beginning Capers' journey towards recovery. In the fall of 1967, while still recovering from his injuries, Major James Capers was selected to represent the U.S. Marines in a national recruiting campaign targeting young black men. Following Vietnam, as a field agent, Capers participated in Cold War covert operations in Eastern Europe and Africa, and the details of those operations remain classified to this day. Major James Capers was nominated for the Medal of Honor, while he has been awarded the Silver Star, 2 Bronze Star, and Combat V, 3 Purple Hearts, Vietnam Cross of Gallantry, a Joint Service Commendation Medal, Combat Action Ribbon, 3 Good Conduct Ribbons, Battle Stars, the Navy Accommodation Medal, Navy Achievement Medal, CG Certificate of Merit, multiple letters of merit, appreciation, and commendation. In 2008, 41 years later, Major James Capers was recommended for the Congressional Medal of Honor for his actions in Vietnam. But despite the recommendations from 2 generals and men that Capers served with, his recommendation was downgraded 2 levels at the Pentagon. In 2010, Major James Capers was one of 14 men to be inducted into the inaugural class of U.S. Special Forces Command's Commando Hall of Honor. Major James Capers Jr. was recognized as a pioneer in recon training tactics that are still used by special operation forces around the world to this day. As a U.S. Marine myself, now a veteran, born and raised in South Carolina myself, it has been an honor to present to you the legend of Major James Capers Jr. Now you know the story of Major James Capers Jr. So hit that follow button and stay tuned for more stories. Aslongaswetracking.